He doesn't say it. He doesn't post it. He doesn't write long paragraphs about it. But somewhere between his silence and his actions, you feel it. Because when a man truly loves you, words become small, and his silence becomes the loudest confession of all. You know that moment when you're with him, and it feels like he wants to say something, but he just stops. He looks at you, then looks away. There's a whole world in that pause. You sense something, but he never says it, and so you start wondering, does he even care, or are you just imagining it? When a man loves quietly, his eyes reveal everything. They linger a little longer, soften when they meet yours, and speak the words he cannot form. Psychology says eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and when his gaze holds you, it's not obsession, it's emotional anchoring. He might look away quickly, not out of disinterest, but because he's overwhelmed by what he feels. That's emotional flooding, his body reacting to emotions too strong to verbalize. So, when his eyes listen before his ears do, that's love in silence. Love isn't always about holding on, it's also about knowing when to give space. Men are wired to protect what they value, and protection isn't just physical, it's emotional. A man who loves you but stays silent will protect your peace even from afar. He won't drag you into his chaos or make you question your worth. He doesn't play games or demand constant attention. Instead, he respects your rhythm, trusts your strength, and gives you freedom. Psychology calls this secure attachment, a love that doesn't need to control. He might not always say, "I miss you," but he'll make sure you never feel small in his world. Real love is proven not by words, but by presence. You'll notice how he appears when you need him most, quietly, without drama or grand promises. When life gets tough, he shows up. He checks in at the right time, listens without judgment, and reminds you that you're not alone. This consistency is behavioral proof of genuine emotional investment. Anyone can say, "I'm here for you," but the man who shows it through action without needing credit is the one who truly cares. That's loyalty in silence. Silent love is also revealed in vulnerability. When a man begins to let you see his flaws, he's showing trust. Men are taught from childhood to hide weakness, don't cry, be strong, never show fear. So when he finally opens up, tells you about his insecurities, or admits he doesn't have all the answers, that's not weakness, it's courage. Psychology calls it emotional suppression, when men bury feelings to avoid pain. So, when he reveals his cracks, he's saying, "I trust you with my truth." Love isn't built in perfection. It's built in the courage to be real. And perhaps the most powerful sign of silent love is consistency. Words fade, but actions stay. He remembers your favorite song, how you take your coffee, the stories that matter to you. He notices when you're tired even before you say it. This is emotional attunement, being deeply tuned to your feelings. He's not doing it to impress. He's doing it because your peace affects his. Over time, you realize that his quiet steadiness is louder than 1,000 promises. Most people get silent love wrong. They think if a man doesn't express himself constantly, he's not invested. But psychology tells us everyone loves differently based on attachment, upbringing, and emotional safety. A man raised in an emotionally distant environment may believe that silence protects love, that words can destroy what actions preserve. He's not withholding affection. He's trying to keep it pure. If you keep expecting him to love the way you do openly, verbally, you might miss the quiet beauty of his language. Real love isn't about volume. It's about intention. Here's the truth. Silence doesn't always mean absence. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's fear. And sometimes it's love learning how to speak. Men are taught to fight, fix, and function, but not to feel. So when love enters, it shakes everything. They thought strength meant he's silent not because he doesn't love you, but because he's terrified of failing at it. That's why your understanding matters so much. When you create emotional safety, when you stay calm instead of demanding, he starts to find his voice. Love stops being a battlefield and becomes a safe home. That's when his silence breaks, not through grand gestures, but through the quiet honesty of, "I'm here. I choose you." If you recognize a man who loves you silently, don't pressure him to change. Invite him to open up, naturally. Appreciate his efforts. Validation rewires a man's brain for emotional expression. Use gentle communication, not accusations. Say, "I love when you share things with me," instead of, "You never tell me how you feel." Give him time. Silent men process slowly, they replay moments in their mind before speaking. And most importantly, be consistent yourself. Don't punish with silence. Use it as space to breathe and grow together. When a man feels safe with you, he doesn't speak to prove himself, he speaks to connect. And if you've ever doubted yourself because of a man's quiet love, remember this: you are not hard to love. You're simply waiting for someone who understands love doesn't have to be loud to be real. Real love feels calm, not chaotic. It protects, listens, learns, and stays. Stop chasing grand declarations and start recognizing the subtle ones: the thoughtful message, the silent support, the steady presence. Those are the loudest I love yous. A man who loves in silence isn't weak or detached. He's learning. He's unlearning the world's noise and finding a truer language for love. His silence isn't emptiness, it's depth. His care isn't performative, it's sincere. And if you can meet that love halfway with understanding, patience, and peace, it will grow deeper than any word could reach. Because when a man truly loves you but stays silent, he isn't withholding his heart. He's giving it carefully, faithfully, in the only language he knows. And one day, when he finally speaks, you'll realize he's been saying it all along.